like obviously we reach out to our siblings for कि ग्रेबी आई है, ऐसी कंपनी है, मैं इसमें बैठूं कि नहीं बैठूं. And I remember she might have searched GreyB on online, and she did not find कि यार इसका तो wiki page भी नहीं है, बहुत छोटी कंपनी है. You should not waste yourself on this company. Wait, कोई बड़ी कंपनी आएगी तो you should sit on that. And मतलब for me also it was like कि when I sat for the interview, it was more like that I need to maybe book some spot because companies were coming in some either I was not getting selected, or the thought was always that since I was gold medalist during engineering, so it was also ki koi na koi PSU aayegi and I will because seniors all put that in your mind that if PSU comes and gold medalist का selection तो पक्का ही है, right? So throughout the study it was कि हाँ यार अगर gold medalist आ गया तो job पक्की है in a PSU, right? Uh, so for GreyB for me was like second choice कि ठीक है यार मतलब बैठ लेते हैं, if selection होगी, so I'll just keep it as a backup and then I will weigh all my options and then see if I need to be joining GreyB. So it was never like कि I'll be actually joining GreyB. It was mostly कि ठीक है यार एक backup है, अगर कुछ नहीं होगा तो I'll go to GreyB. Otherwise obviously there are PSUs and there are a lot of things that I can do. So after that, I would say, I got placed in two companies. One was, I remember it was in Noida. So comparatively, from Noida to GreyB in Chandigarh, I felt like, maybe GreyB is better. And that is how I started my journey at GreyB. And when I started this stint, it was again like, कि ठीक है यार, job तो करनी है. So I'll do it for maybe an year or so, and then maybe I'll do some MBA or I will join some other company. Or when my sister also told that, okay, no problem, you join, and maybe she'll put referrals at Amdocs or Infosys, and I can, give the interviews and maybe, go to some other company. So there's no harm in joining GreyB. So when I started GreyB, I, the thing that I would say I liked was maybe. I thought, yeah, ठीक है, what I can learn from this job, let me grab that, and then maybe I'll move on to somewhere else. And since our job was about reading patterns, it appeared very similar to me, like reading comprehension. So I think we remember in English we used to have that comprehension based exam where you used to read a passage and then you used to answer some questions. So for me it was like, okay, I'll read those comprehensions. These are technical comprehensions in line with my engineering, what I have done. So it will give me a boost if I want to go to MBA or something. So maybe ये मेरा paragraph reading का जो time है वो improve कर देगी. So for me pattern reading was this. I need to maybe quickly understand the pattern, reduce the time in which I'm understanding a technology, like from one pattern to another, and then maybe move on to the new project. And then in between, I remember Arindam was my mentor, Gaurav Gunjan was, I think, your mentor. So what used to happen, there used to be some sort of challenge in between, you are working on a project, then suddenly after hours, after a couple of hours, Arindam would come to my seat and say कि मुझे एक reference मिल गया है, अगर तुझे नहीं मिला तो देख ले, वो तो मुझे मिल चुका है, तो I'll give you this type of feedback. So it became a little challenge कि नहीं यार मेरे mentor को मिल गया है, मुझे उससे better ढूंढना है, and it became a game for me. And at that point of time, I think I was also watching this Sherlock Holmes type of series. It was very famous at that point of time when I think we started GreyB, and it looked to me something similar, that you are solving some puzzles every day. There is some pattern, you need to understand it properly, you need to see where it can be applied, either you need to prove it was existing before date, and everything was around that only. So I started making it that this is some sort of maybe that's Sherlock Holmes thing for me, where I need to solve puzzles, and it became interesting every day for me. So in between I did gave some interviews. I gave offline I would say uh, exam for Sapien Nitro, and I got selected there. So I actually went to Delhi, gave all the exam, and next week I went for interview, I got selected. And then when I was thinking yeah, should I go to Sapien Nitro, it's a big company. Salary was also, we can say, a little better than GreyB. Noida mein hai, maybe better opportunities and things like that. So I just thought to myself that like at GreyB, I was more in like reading about technologies, and as an engineer I liked that, right? That you read some logic or you read some technology. So it was more in line with the interest that I had. So that at that point of time, this became my, I would say, like at different points you have those attachments. So this became my attachment, that at least if I stay at GreyB, I'll improve the technical part. And then I think I would say in between lot of things happened. And for me it became like a skill development exercise, right? So sometimes that skill would be uh, maybe training a mentor, training a mentee. Sometimes it would be maybe okay, learning something about leadership, um, maybe leading a team, uh, doing some reverse engineering projects. So from time to time I saw like something interesting came my way, and it actually held me in this GreyB ecosystem.
Wow.
And not only from the project side, I also felt like the team members that I found at GreyB. So everyone was very good. So I would not say like that I was maybe the best at GreyB. Everyone that we even if we pick out right now any person, he is best at something. And that became a very good network where you could learn different things from each other, and you would never feel bored, because that if you're facing problem in communication, why not you go to maybe Muzammil, who is very good at doing this client conversation with uh, clients in emails. Arindam was very good. So this helped you in bring me in creating that network where I know that if I'm here, I'll always learn something. And I think there was one instance at the start also, which uh, I would say uh, influenced my decision, I would say, in the long run. So I remember when I was quite new, so I was very like report we used to prepare. So report को जब मैं देखता था तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता था कि like formatting, it may happen like I have that like everyone has some like itch. So for me, if the formatting is not right, or spelling mistakes are there, or maybe some color combination is not good, so it becomes कि नहीं यार इसको हम better कर सकते हैं. So I remember like I one day I took a report, and I did all the changes, like अच्छा टेबल ऐसा होना चाहिए, स्ट्रिंग्स ऐसे डालनी चाहिए, मैपिंग ऐसे होनी चाहिए, टेबल इस टाइप का होना चाहिए, एंड I prepared a very good template according to me, right? And then after I did that, I was not sure अच्छा अब इसका मैं करूँ क्या, right? So I asked someone, and I think someone told me that you share it on eco op, or I don't remember, it might be eco as well. And since I was new, I didn't know what is eco. I thought, okay, I'll just share it. So I sent an email on eco with that, here is the new template. And like if we see protocol, if we have to roll out anything new, I think it needs to go through some specific checks, maybe Shikhar, Deepak approving some things, and then these things are getting implemented. And that was the time where I felt like very nervous. I thought कि भाई अब तो नौकरी गई, कुछ और सोचना पड़ेगा, कहीं और नौकरी ढूंढनी पड़ेगी. So because like people come and say कि यार तूने ये क्या कर दिया, why did you send it on eco, अगर तुझे करना था you should have sent it to maybe Shikhar, get it reviewed and then do this. But वो सब बाद में हो रहा था, right? It was already done. So then I remember like the next day Deepak came into office and he sent me an email that Rohit, could you come into my cabin? And that was the point where I thought कि भाई अब मतलब बोरिया बिस्तरा पैक है, मतलब मे बी दे विल टेल मी कि यू आर फायर्ड. दिमाग में बार बार ना डिफरेंट तरीके से चल रहा है कि हाउ दीपक विल टेल टू मी दैट मे बी आई ओपन द डोर एंड दीपक विल सडनली से यू आर फायर्ड. इफ आई गो ट्राई टू सिट ऑन द चेयर एंड ही सेज यू आर फायर्ड. सो वो सारे ना डिफरेंट तरह के दिमाग में चल रहे थे, लाइक हाउ ही वुड से दिस टू मी. So when I went in, I was really nervous. But that conversation was, I would say, a game changer for me, because he shared that, like, that although the way I did that, that might not be appropriate, but he liked that, at least, I was trying to, share my views or try to improve something at GreyB. So that gave me real motivation that, like this company is somewhere where I can experiment my ideas. And I think generally हम अब बोलते हैं कि like freedom to express या freedom to innovation या freedom to express your opinion is very much at GreyB. So I felt that for the first time at GreyB within, I would say, a month or two of my joining. And that was where like all the, I would say that like the confidence changed, that if I follow the appropriate protocol, we can change anything at GreyB, right? Provided it meets the obviously the ideology of the company, and the timing is right. And based on that, we did, or I would say I, participated in a lot of changes. One was obviously the report making part. It went from an official manner, and finally we got the the updated report format with input from some other people as well. And I remember when we were doing that, so there was this table, and generally what we do in table, we put tick cross, if it is available, not available, and I did that only, right, with this thing. And I remember Arindam sharing a comment कि हम इसमें color fill कर देते हैं, green for tick, right, and red for not available. And I thought इससे क्या ही फर्क पड़ रहा है, राइट, मतलब मैंने ऑलरेडी टेबल बना दिया, अब ये कलर डाल के ये क्या ही चेंज कर लेंगे, राइट. But then the reasoning which I got was very interesting. He said, maybe what if someone is color, like, uh, like, I think ulta tha shayad. Yes. Oh, yes. I think, sorry, I'll change. I actually put only colors. I did not put tick cross, I remember. And that is when Arindam shared that इसमें tick cross भी डालते हैं, because if someone is color blind, तो उसको पता ही नहीं चलेगा कि color कौन सा है. So at least tick cross with color होना चाहिए if we want to do that. So this cross questioning, or I would say, like the cross pollination of ideas which comes up when you're trying to do something new, I feel that is marvelous. And at every small point that we do this brainstorming, that I would say really helps, that whatever we come up with, either it's an internal solution or it's in some external deliverable to a client, or maybe we are creating some new tool, it has a specific purpose. And that's I would say really really good thing about the company that I liked. And
I think I already got the material for the speech that ideally we would have done on the 21st May, but I already got the
yeah.
You wanted to say something. Yeah.
Yes. And again, I would say everyone has their aspirations, right? So similarly, I also had aspirations, maybe buying a big car, fulfilling other, maybe buying expensive stuff and things like that. So I observed the team, or I would say the members with whom I was, maybe Rohit, Muzammil, I would say everyone would say they are close, so they may help you. But I think there are people like Arindam, Krishna, Nikhil, Shelza. So I remember when I was buying a car, so I remember, I think Rohit or Muzammil asked me how much money you have, and I said I have only 1 lakh rupees and I want to buy a big car. So they all laughed for quite some time. And then when it came out, no, it's a serious thing. So then we started a project, how we can get the money to buy that car, and it was, I think, around 2,30,000. So 1,30,000 were borrowed from the other team members. And when we brought the car, everyone was very happy. We took rides in that, and it seemed like it was something I would say, like, in your aspirations, others were taking part. कि नहीं यार, इसका ये एक aspiration है, and I would like to, or be a part and help him fulfill that. So that happened time and again. And that was also another reason that I felt that getting a good team combination, and someone who trusts you or understands you, is really difficult. And that's what made me stick to GreyB for over 10 years. So that was what GreyB did for me. Similarly, I also know, in return, obviously we need to do something for GreyB. So every time, or every project, or every task that I do, I try that there is some specific flavor of Rohit Sood in that, so that it creates an impact at GreyB as well. So